Hello everybody and welcome to Brain Linker. From the previous video, we have been discussing about Hibernate architecture. In this video, we also like to continue that. And I think in the previous video, we had discussed session and session factory. Hence, we will start with persistent objects. Persistent objects are instances of POJO, or you can say JavaBeans. Let's first understand POJO. POJO stands for plain old Java object. Example of POJO. POJO is an ordinary Java class that doesn't have any special restrictions other than those forced by Java language specification. Means it doesn't have any fancy rules like it should have no argument constructor, its field should be private, and something similar. POJO represents database entities and usually has the same members as database table. JavaBeans. JavaBeans are POJO with some restrictions. Let's talk about those restrictions by an example of JavaBean. First rule says it should implement serializable. Now serializable doesn't belong to java.lang package. That's why we have to import it. Otherwise compiler will say, hey man, I don't know what serializable means. That's why we have to import it. Serializable resides in java.io package. Second rule says all the fields or instance variables should be private. Third rule says it should have no argument constructor. And fourth rule says it should have getter and setter methods for each and every field or instance variable. Next is transaction. Transaction is a group of tasks. One classic example of transaction is bank money transfer. This transaction includes a couple of tasks. First is debit from source account and second one is credit in destination account. org.hibernate.transaction is an interface that represents transaction. It abstracts the application from underlying complex APIs such as JTA transaction. We will talk about JTA in the next slide. TransactionFactory. It is a factory for transaction instances. ConnectionProvider. ConnectionProvider is used to obtain JDBC connection and it is not exposed to the application. Instead, it is used internally by Hibernate to obtain connection. org.hibernate.connection.connectionProvider is an interface that represents connection provider. JNDI, JDBC and JTA are mostly used with enterprise application. JNDI stands for Java Naming and Directory Service. You can think JNDI is something like the hash map or mapping that stores information of remote resources. The resource can be an application or data. JDBC stands for Java Database Connectivity. JDBC is an API for database related work. JTA stands for Java Transaction API. It is an API to manage distributed transaction. That's it for today's video. If you like this video, then please press the like button. If you haven't subscribed, then please press the subscribe button. You can give your feedback or doubt in comment section. Goodbye.